Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite series. Kinda. The series literally just ended today, and I read the last chapter, and I still like it, but we're also going to be talking about just one of my favorite authors in general. And if you know me IRL, you already know what I'm going to be talking about. That is Chainsaw Man. And yes, I picked Volume 4. I think the cover of Volume 4 is sick, with Aki. But Tatsuki Fujimoto is the guy who is behind this. Why is he one of my favorite authors? Because he wrote Goodbye Eerie and Look Back in all those shorts, and then Chainsaw Man and Fire Punch. And then he had two people work under him that also went on to make some amazing series. That being Hell's Paradise. And if you haven't read Hell's Paradise, I highly recommend you do, because the art in it is gorgeous. The art in a lot of these series is gorgeous. I know the anime is ongoing for Hell's Paradise at the moment. I think the anime is okay. I'm that guy a lot of the times that is saying, oh, the book was better, and I hate being that guy, but it's true a lot of the times. I think the only time when it comes to anime and manga that I could disagree on that is probably Demon Slayer, that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm currently reading One Punch Man because Season 1 was like a masterpiece and Season 2 dropped in quality, and I'm not even going to waste my time with Season 3. I've seen the clips. I'm just going to read it. So the show for One Punch Man, Season 1, easily better than the manga. But aside from that, that's not what we're talking about today. Oh, and then Yukinobu Tatsu wrote Dandadan, and he also worked under Tatsuki Fujimoto. So it seems like anyone who works under Fujimoto will just come out with bangers. But Chainsaw Man holds a special place in my heart. I mean, you can literally see back here, I have one poster of Chainsaw Man, and I have another one over there of the Darkness Devil panel. If you know, you know. You'll find out if you decide to read this series. It's on chapter 52 or 3 or something like that. But as far as I am aware, that I can think of, this was the first series that made me cry. And it's like Volume 9. It's in Volume 9, you know. And Fujimoto knew what he was doing with the cover of that volume, because, you know, the snowball fight. If you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. Every time, I've reread this series 4 times. Part 1 4 times, let me clarify. Part 1, I think, is a must-read. That is the first 97 chapters of this series, or volumes 1 through 11. I think you should read them. I think they're so good, and I get there's a point of contention that, A, it's manga, so it sucks because it's gay and it's for weebs, but man, I don't know. I really think you should read it. Like, a lot of people should read it. I mean, you guys know me. I've posted a lot of videos on a lot of different books, like the classics, and then some modern things like The Way of Kings, and I still think you should read Part 1 of Chainsaw Man. Part 1 is so masterful, and it really pains me because Part 2 is good. It has its moments, like when he steals a motorcycle and it turns into like his own thing, and he has like his own Chainsaw Man motorcycle for a second. Like, that's a cool moment. Or when the Falling Devil comes into play and someone's talking about how great their life is, and then they just jump and kill themselves because the Falling Devil is like in the area and causing people to just like, oh, I should go, jump off a cliff or a building or whatever. Like, those are cool moments, but I don't know. Towards the end of Part 2, it kind of felt like Fujimoto was getting tired, and he was like, you know what? I can just kind of end this. And I kind of want to end this. And after it's been going on for like almost 6 years, I think, I'm kind of okay with it, because I didn't know where he was going to go. It kind of has that Fire Punch feel where it's a little bittersweet, not like the greatest, not the best. I thought the ending was like a 5 out of 10. There's like a lot of negatives, and then there's a lot of like positives to it where I can kind of see both sides of the coin. I don't think the ending for Part 2 is 1 out of 10. But it's definitely not 10 out of 10. I think you could legitimately just read Part 1 of Chainsaw Man and be done, and you'd be fine. There's nothing too crazy in Part 2. I mean, there there's a lot of crazy stuff in part 2, don't get me wrong, and there are a lot of cool moments, but nothing substantial that makes me say, yeah, I can't wait to go back and reread that. Now, whenever I do go back and reread Chainsaw Man for the 5th time, I probably will reread part 2, especially since I won't be going week by week. But yeah, I love this series. I think it's great. And I don't know, I just don't get why people hate it sometimes. I don't get why people hate a lot of things. I don't know why we can't see things from different perspectives. I get that Denji might make people uncomfortable, but he's a guy that's treated like crap literally since he's like 5 or 6. His dad dies, and like the Japanese mafia is like, hey, you've inherited your dad's debt. You got to pay us or we're going to kill your ass. And he literally sells his body parts to like pay them off at the start. And that's only like the first chapter. And then everything kind of mellows out. I say mellows out. That's not an appropriate term for this series. But no, it's really good. I do think it shaped me a little bit as a person, enough to where I can recommend it, obviously. But then every time the only reason I read Dawn to Dawn was because I heard this person worked under Fujimoto, and I had read this and later found out after I read it that this person also worked under Fujimoto. So I don't know what he's given him, but it's amazing. And I also love the fact that Fujimoto is kind of insane. Because if you know, you know, he has a video where like there's only like one video of him that I'm aware of on the internet, and we don't even know if it's him. We're pretty sure it's him. And it's literally like a 20-second video of him being like, okay, today I'm going to attempt to levitate. And he literally runs to the like back of the room where you can see him, and then he jumps, and then he comes back and he's like, I did not levitate. And like the video ends. That's all we have of him. He's hilarious. And I love Chainsaw Man, even though part 2 kind of stunk it up. There's a few like missing threads. He brought up characters that are dead at one point, like they were gonna come back, and they never did, and it absolutely killed me. There's like just a lot of plot points that he just kind of forgot about, and I didn't appreciate that at all. Also, little note, I already made this video, and then I kind of had it just sitting there for a few months, and then I heard Chainsaw Man Part 2 was ending in a few weeks, and I was like, oh, let me just remake the video, and then I'll give my thoughts on it. Part 1, 9 out of 10. Go read it. It's amazing. Oh, yeah. Another point of contention that people don't like manga is you have to read right to left. That does not mean the sentence structure is right to left. It literally means you're just going from, like, you're starting here and you're working your way over here. But it's like, even devil hunters are only human. Like, that's still an order. You're not, like, seeing human only are hunters, devil even. You're not seeing that. You're seeing it in normal. You just have to go right to left. And your brain will fix itself. It'll adjust pretty quickly. You'll be surprised. Mine did, at least. I read maybe like an hour of manga, and this was my first one was Demon Slayer. I know that's awful, but mine adjusted after like a volume of reading, and volumes don't take long. It's not like The Count of Monte Cristo where a volume is like 10 hours. It's literally like an hour. So yeah, amazing series. You can try the anime if you want. I found the season 1 of the anime to be a little lackluster. It wasn't really what I was after. And everyone else said, like, I thought season 1 of Chainsaw Man was like a 5 out of 10. I thought it was okay. This is coming from the guy who read it 4 times. But I thought the movie, the Reize movie, was amazing. That was incredible. I thought that was a really good adaptation. They changed the art style a little bit. I thought the music was good. It fit very well for Chainsaw Man. And then they kind of cut back on the CGI. They tried to make things not as grounded, which I appreciate, because I feel like with this series, trying to make it grounded, it's like it's a double-edged sword where there are moments in season 1 that it's like really cool that it's grounded, but at the same time, like the way they can work with Chainsaw Man, because he's obviously really hard to draw. He has chainsaws coming out of his arms, and he has a chainsaw for a head. That's obviously going to be really hard to draw. so they use CGI a lot, and I don't know, he looks weird to me, and it kind of annoys me. But in the movie, they changed the art style so they could actually like draw him and not use CGI, or at least hide it better. So I appreciated that. I think the movie is definitely worth. Maybe I'm a sucker because that's one of my favorite arcs of the series, is the Reze arc. But yeah, a lot of people, they watched it and thought it was amazing, and they hadn't read it, so maybe you'll like it if you just watch it. I don't know. I would read it if I were you, but I'm gonna say that regardless. Dandadan is also worth reading, and so I can't, I don't know if I want to recommend Hell's Paradise. Hell's Paradise is really good, but you might just want to watch it. Hell's Paradise is about there being the elixir of life that cures all illnesses, lets you live forever, whatever, on this island that no one comes back from alive. So they gather all these really dangerous criminals to go there, and if they get the elixir of life, they'll be pardoned, and they have to have shogunate, or like some kind of officer of sorts, with them on the island to make sure they don't try and escape. And it's like, dude, everyone who comes to this island dies. The manga's great. If you get into manga, read the manga for sure. But I don't know, if you're not into manga, but that premise sounds cool, I would watch the anime. I think season 2 is still ongoing, and it's really good. I love Gabimaru, and I love a lot of the characters in that series. I love that one of them, he gets his hand bit by like one of the insects, and if you get bit by that, you're like dead. Like your whole body ends up erupting in flowers, and he immediately noticed something was off. I forget his name, but he got bit on his hand, and then he sees the bug, and it has like a smiling face, and he cuts off his hand right away. Like no hesitation, and it starts sprouting flowers, and he's like, yeah, like this is a cool premise. I just don't know if it's everyone's cup of tea. And I think the biggest one I don't think is everyone's cup of tea is Dandadan. This series is so charming, I could not put it down when I started. I got through all, at the time, I think there was like 180 chapters. I got through all of those in like a week. They were so good. Probably less than a week. I think I got through them all in like 3 nights. It's so good. And, you know, obviously, it's something I need to point out. Chapters are not like books, where a chapter takes you an hour or half an hour to read. A chapter in this is like 5 minutes. I don't want to sound like a speed reader, okay? Because I'm not. I am not a speed reader. I am very slow. But this series is great. If you read the first like 2 chapters of the series and you're not into it, I wouldn't continue, because it's just gonna keep that same momentum. But for me, I found it to be really charming. I really liked it. The first chapter, or the story at first, revolves around Okarun and oh my gosh, what's her name? Ayase. Ayase believes in ghosts, but not aliens. Okarun believes in aliens and not ghosts. So they both send each other to a place where there's a ghost sighting, like common ghost sightings, and then there's alien sightings. So Ayase goes to where the aliens are supposed to be, and then Okarun goes where the ghosts are supposed to be. And they both come across like what they don't believe in. So Okarun gets cursed, and he ends up getting a power that he has to learn to control, yada yada yada. And then Ayase deals with some aliens and unlocks some spiritual power. And the whole reason she believes in ghosts is because her granny is like a spirit medium. So she has inherited some kind of way to fight those people. Not even inherited, because characters later on develop that ability. But yeah, it's a great series. I found it really charming. I couldn't put it down once I got past chapter 2. I was like, man, this, honestly, chapter 1, I could not stop. I would recommend it, but if you cannot handle weird things, because this series is weird, I don't think you should read it or watch it. But if you're not into reading, I do think this one is a safe, you can watch the anime, and I think you'll get the same amount out of it. Although the art in the manga is better, obviously. That's not any point of contention that would be brought up, right? Everyone would be like, oh yeah, the art's better in the manga. Obviously. Not a crazy thing. So, yeah, what else is there? Part 2 of Chainsaw Man, it was okay. Going on for 6 years, reading week by week, or having like an off week where you only read, where only like one chapter comes out after 2 weeks. It's like, dude, can you not do that? Dude, I have a cat, he's scratching my chair. But he, I don't know, after 6 years, it's like, oh my god. Like, that was part of the reason I didn't like the final season of Attack on Titan. I liked it, but like, it definitely knocked some points for how long it took. So I think that did not help me in my situation. Buddy, do you want up here, or are you just gonna like jump down immediately? I think he's gonna jump down immediately. Anyways, yeah. So I'll probably talk about manga in the future, but it's gonna be ones I really like. I don't think I'm gonna go out of my way to read something that I will be like, eh, or not even read. I will go out of my way to read and see if I like something, but if I don't like it, I probably won't talk about it unless it's just atrociously bad, and I feel the need to talk about it. But if I think it's really good, I'll talk about it. But you can just expect more book reviews to keep on coming your way. But I had to talk about Chainsaw Man and the people that worked under him and how good their series are. So yeah, that's it. See ya.